All right, strap in, everybody. Today we're going to do a deep dive into how to really make those muscles grow. And I'm talking way beyond the usual stuff you see out there.
Definitely.
So we're looking at Healthy Temple, and there's 7 surprising and hopefully effective strategies to accelerate muscle growth.
Yeah, and I think what Healthy Temple really hits on here is that it's not just about working harder.
Yeah,
It's about working smarter, too.
so much smarter.
There are a lot of little things that can make a really big difference.
I think we're all about that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so first up, we're going to talk about eccentric movements.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people think, isn't the whole point of lifting weights to, lift them up
Right.
to get those muscles going? But Healthy Temple says that it's actually the lowering phase that's really where the magic happens, so I'm intrigued already.
Yeah, most people focus on that concentric motion, the lifting part, but the eccentric, the lowering part, that's where your muscles are working against gravity. And it creates a lot more tension, and that tension leads to more growth.
I'm picturing myself doing, bicep curls really slowly.
Exactly.
Lowering it down.
Exactly, you got it.
Okay, well, that's, like I said, that's where the magic happens, supposedly.
Studies show that incorporating eccentric training can increase your strength gains by as much as 50%
Really?
compared to just concentric training.
Wow.
So think about that.
50%.
50%.
That's like adding 50% more to your bar.
Yep, it's huge.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sold.
It's a big one.
I'm going to be paying attention to that for
Yes,
sure.
exactly.
Next time I hit the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're going to talk about Healthy Temple. Also dives into compound exercises.
Yes, yes.
Now those are what are those? Like the squats and the deadlifts?
Yeah, those are like your squats, your deadlifts, your bench presses.
Right.
Those are movements that
Work multiple muscle groups.
hit multiple muscle groups at once.
I've always been about efficiency, so I'm all about that.
Yeah, and not only are they efficient, they also trigger this hormonal cascade that is just essential for muscle growth.
So it's not just about working up a sweat.
Yeah.
There's actually some hormonal stuff going on.
Totally, yeah. Compound exercises will spike your testosterone
Cool.
and growth hormone levels.
Wow.
And that is crucial for repairing muscles and growing new muscle tissue.
Okay, so it's a signal to the body.
Exactly.
Hey, we're serious about this.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
You got it.
So compound movements, for sure.
Definitely.
Healthy Temple also talks about protein timing,
Yes,
which I think is something we've all heard a lot about, right?
absolutely.
But they compare it to refueling a car
Right.
at the right time for optimal performance.
Yeah, it's a great analogy because, protein is the building block for muscle.
Uh-huh.
And if you can spread that protein intake throughout the day, and especially after a workout,
Yeah.
your body's going to have that constant supply of amino acids
Okay.
to rebuild and repair.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, how much protein are we talking? What should we be aiming for?
Yeah, research suggests around 20 to 40 grams after a workout to maximize your muscle protein synthesis.
Okay.
There are lots of good sources out there. Lean meat, fish, eggs, even some plant-based sources like tofu and lentils.
I love a good lentil stew.
It's delicious, right?
Okay, so 20 to 40 grams
Yeah.
spread throughout the day post-workout.
Yes.
Okay, I'm taking notes on all this stuff. This is good.
Completely.
Now, Healthy Temple brings up a point that I think a lot of people are going to roll their eyes at because I definitely did when I read it.
Okay.
Sleep.
Yeah.
For muscle growth, they say it's crucial.
It's so important.
Now, I'll admit I've sacrificed a lot of sleep
Yeah.
in order to get my workout in, to make time for it.
It's a common thing.
So how important is sleep?
We tend to focus on that active part of building muscle, the workout.
Right.
But sleep is where the real magic happens. Yeah, because when you sleep, your body releases growth hormone. It repairs those microscopic tears in your muscles. It rebuilds, it regrows, it gets stronger.
Okay, so it's like I'm hitting the save button on my workout.
Exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
And the research shows that if you're getting less than 6 hours of sleep regularly, you're missing out on up to 60% of your muscle recovery.
Wow, 60.
60%,
That's more than half.
more than half.
So I might be doing all this work at the gym.
Right.
And then just throwing it away.
Exactly.
And not sleeping.
Yeah, so you really want to aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Well, consider me convinced. I'm going to start prioritizing my sleep a little bit better, I think.
I think we all should.
Yeah, maybe put the phone down a little bit earlier. Not binge watch that show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all part of it.
Now, Healthy Temple also talks about this thing called progressive overload,
Yes.
which sounds a lot like leveling up in a video game.
It's a great analogy, yeah.
What is it all about?
Yeah. So think about when you're first starting out like playing a video game.
Yeah.
The levels are pretty easy.
Right.
But as you get better, as you progress through the game, you have to face those harder challenges to level up your skills.
So our muscles are kind of the same way.
It's the same thing with your muscles.
Okay.
So as you get stronger, you've got to continue to challenge them in order to keep growing.
Okay, so I can't just do the same weights and the same number of reps forever
Exactly.
and expect to see results.
Right. Your body is amazingly adaptive.
Uh-huh.
It will get used to whatever you throw at it.
Wow.
You got to keep pushing those limits.
So how do I know if I should increase my weight or how much I should increase it by?
Yeah, so the key is to make those small incremental increases over time.
Small.
Yeah, maybe you add like a couple of pounds to the bar each week. Maybe you try to squeeze out 1 or 2 extra reps.
Okay.
The key is just consistency and tracking your workouts.
Small changes, big results.
Exactly.
Okay. I like
Oh,
that.
God.
Yeah.
That's definitely doable. Absolutely.
It's not overwhelming. Okay, now they also talk about something called rest pause training,
Yes.
which sounds pretty intense.
It's a good one. It's basically taking your sets to the next level.
Okay, and how do we do that?
So you're lifting a weight until you can't lift it anymore
Failure.
to failure, and then you take a very short break, like 15 to 20 seconds,
Oh, okay.
and you try to squeeze out a couple more reps.
Wow, that's tough.
It's tough, but it's effective.
Okay, now is that dangerous, lifting to failure?
You know, it's definitely a more advanced technique, so safety is super important.
Okay.
You always want to make sure you're using proper form,
Right.
especially when you're lifting heavy, and have a spotter if you need to.
Yeah.
But the results can be impressive.
Okay, so how much better are we talking?
Studies have shown it can increase muscle growth by up to 20% compared to traditional sets.
Wow, 20%. That's big.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay, I'm definitely going to have to try that one, but I'm going to start slow.
Yeah, always start slow.
Safety first.
Absolutely.
Okay, and last but not least, Healthy Temple really emphasizes that recovery is not optional.
Yes, so important.
I feel like a lot of people, including myself, are guilty of thinking, like, more is better.
Yeah.
You know, the more I work out, the better results I'm going to get.
Yeah, but your muscles actually grow when you're recovering, not when you're working out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so those active recovery days,
Mhm.
stretching, that stuff isn't just about feeling good.
Yeah.
It's essential for building muscle.
What kind of things can we be doing for recovery? Like, what are your recommendations?
Yeah, some light cardio, a brisk walk, a swim.
Uh-huh.
That can help flush out lactic acid, which builds up in your muscles during those hard workouts.
Oh, okay.
Stretching is also really important.
Yeah.
It keeps you flexible, prevents muscle tightness, and don't underestimate the power of tools like foam rollers and massage guns.
Now, I have seen those around the gym,
Yeah,
but I have not really tried them out. Do they really make a difference?
they really do. Yeah, studies show that foam rolling after a workout can actually reduce muscle soreness by up to 30%.
Really?
So that means you're going to be less sore and stiff the next day,
That's awesome.
and you'll be able to get back to the gym faster.
So even like 5 or 10 minutes of this kind of recovery stuff?
Totally. It all makes a difference.
Okay.
Building muscle is a holistic process. It's not just about hitting the gym and lifting weights.
Yeah.
It's about nourishing your body, giving it the rest it needs, and understanding the science behind muscle growth.
This has all been incredibly insightful. I'm really starting to see the big picture here.
Right.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
And speaking of smarter, Healthy Temple has a lot more to say about the mental aspects of muscle growth and some common misconceptions that I think we're all probably guilty of.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back with part 2 of our deep dive. All right, welcome back to our deep dive into all things muscle growth. We're continuing our exploration of Healthy Temple and those 7 kind of surprising strategies they lay out.
Yeah, and what I think is really cool is that Healthy Temple doesn't just focus on the physical stuff.
Yeah.
They also talk about the mental game,
Right.
which I think is often overlooked.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they talk about the importance of setting realistic goals and focusing on progress, not perfection, which I think is something a lot of us struggle with.
Absolutely.
We get so caught up in comparing ourselves
Yes.
to other people or, getting discouraged if we don't see results right away.
Right, because comparison is the thief of joy, as they say.
Totally. Yeah.
And, everybody's body is different.
Yeah.
We all have different genetics, different starting points.
Right.
So it's really about just focusing on your own journey and making progress from wherever you are.
I love that. Progress over perfection. That's a good one.
It's a good mantra.
It really is.
And it ties into another point that Healthy Temple makes, which is that consistency is king.
Okay.
Building muscle is a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
It's about making those sustainable changes to your lifestyle
Yeah.
habits that you can stick with over time.
Absolutely. It's not about like finding some crazy workout
Right.
or diet that you can only do for like a few weeks.
Exactly.
It's about finding something that you can do long term.
Yeah, something that you enjoy.
All right.
Because if you hate your workouts
Yeah.
or you're eating food that you can't stand, you're not going to stick with it.
Yeah. So true.
So find things that you actually like to do.
Right. Fitness should be fun.
It should be fun.
It shouldn't feel like a chore.
Exactly. Yeah. Experiment, try different things, find what you enjoy.
Yeah. Whether it's dancing, swimming, hiking, rock climbing,
Totally.
whatever.
Whatever gets you moving and feeling good.
Exactly. And Healthy Temple also talks about listening to your body, which I think is so important, especially when we're pushing ourselves physically.
Absolutely. Yeah. Your body is incredibly intelligent.
Okay.
It will give you signals when it needs rest, recovery, maybe a change in your routine.
What are some of those signals?
Pay attention to your energy levels.
Okay.
If you're constantly feeling wiped out, even after getting enough sleep,
Yeah.
it might be a sign that you need to reduce the intensity of your workouts or maybe take an extra rest day.
Okay. I've definitely been there
Yeah.
where I'm like dragging myself to the gym and I'm
Ah.
like, I know this is not going to be a good workout.
Right, exactly. And it's so much better to just take that rest day,
Yeah.
come back feeling refreshed and energized.
Yeah.
You'll actually get better results that way.
Makes sense. And they also talk about persistent muscle soreness.
Yes.
Now, how much soreness is normal?
Right.
And when should we be concerned?
Yeah, it's normal to feel some soreness after a workout,
Yeah.
especially if you're trying something new or increasing the intensity.
Right.
But if you're experiencing pain that's sticking around for days or getting worse over time,
Yeah.
that's a red flag.
Okay.
That could be a sign of an injury.
Okay. So it's like distinguishing between the good soreness, like,
Right.
oh, I worked hard, soreness.
Yeah, that good achy feeling.
Yeah.
And the kind of soreness that's like something's wrong.
Sharp and stabbing.
Yeah, sharp, intense, or maybe in one specific spot.
Got it.
Don't mess around with that. See a doctor or a physical therapist
Right.
to make sure everything's okay.
Good advice. Now let's go back to the mental side of things for a minute.
Okay.
Healthy Temple also talks about stress management,
Yes.
which is something I think we all struggle with
Absolutely.
in today's world.
Yes, stress is a silent killer,
It is.
especially when it comes to muscle growth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when you're stressed, your body pumps out cortisol.
Mm-hmm.
And cortisol is a hormone that can actually break down muscle tissue.
So it's like the opposite of what we want.
It's the opposite, yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize stress could have that much of an impact on muscle growth.
It's huge.
Okay, so what are some things that we can do to manage our stress?
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. Meditation, yoga, spending time in nature,
Yeah.
even just taking a few deep breaths throughout the day.
Yeah.
Find what works for you and make it a priority.
So it's about taking care of our mental health
Absolutely.
just as much as our physical health.
Yeah, they're all connected.
Right, for sure. And, one thing that Healthy Temple doesn't really touch on specifically,
Okay.
but I think is important to talk about is the role of genetics
Yes.
in muscle growth.
Absolutely, because we all have different genetic predispositions.
Right.
And some people naturally build muscle more easily than others.
I know those people. They just
Okay.
look at a weight and they get bigger.
Exactly. And it can be frustrating
Yeah, it can
if you're someone who has to work really hard
Right.
to see those results.
Yeah, so is it like a lost cause if you're not genetically gifted?
Not at all.
Okay.
You can still achieve amazing results
Okay.
with consistent effort and the right approach.
That's good.
It might just take a little more patience and dedication.
So don't give up.
Exactly. Focus on what you can control, your training, your nutrition, your recovery, your mindset.
Okay.
Those are the things that really make the difference.
I like that. So celebrate your own progress.
Yes.
Whatever that looks like.
Exactly.
Now I think it's time to tackle some common misconceptions
Okay.
surrounding muscle growth.
Yeah.
Because Healthy Temple doesn't go into these specifically,
Yeah,
but I think they're worth debunking.
I agree.
So what do you got?
Okay. So first up, the myth that lifting heavy weights will make women bulky.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one.
It's so common.
I think a lot of women are afraid to lift heavy weights because they think they're going to end up looking like a female bodybuilder.
Yeah, and it's understandable,
Yeah.
but it's just not true.
Okay.
Women don't produce enough testosterone
Uh.
to build muscle mass the way men do.
Right.
Lifting heavy weights will definitely make you stronger.
Okay.
It'll make you leaner.
Yeah.
It'll make you more toned, but it's not going to make you bulky.
So ladies, lift those heavy weights.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid.
Awesome. Okay, what else?
Okay. Another common misconception is that you need to eat massive amounts of protein to build muscle.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that one.
It's everywhere.
Like just downing protein shakes all day long?
Right. But while protein is definitely essential for muscle growth,
Mm-hmm.
more isn't always better.
Okay.
And the right amount of protein really depends on your individual needs.
Yeah.
Your activity level, your weight, your goals.
Okay, so it's not a one-size-fits-all.
Exactly. But in general, aiming for like 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is a good starting point.
Good rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Okay, any others?
Okay, last one. The myth that you need to work out every single day to see results.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, this is a recipe for burnout.
It is?
Rest and recovery are just as crucial as exercise when it comes to building muscle.
Okay, so taking rest days is not a bad thing.
It's a good thing.
It's not lazy.
It's essential.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because your muscles need time to repair and rebuild.
Yeah.
And if you're pushing yourself too hard without enough rest,
Uh-huh.
you could actually injure yourself.
Okay, so it's all about finding that balance.
Exactly. Find that balance, listen to your body, and take those rest days when you need them.
Great advice. This has been so helpful. I feel like we've covered so much ground here.
Yeah, we've got a really comprehensive understanding now.
We do.
From the science to the mindset
Sure.
to those common myths.
Absolutely. And you know what?
What?
Healthy Temple has even more to say
Yeah.
about maximizing our muscle building potential.
We're not done yet.
So stay tuned, because in part 3, we're going to dive into even more tips and insights.
We're going to unlock those muscle building secrets.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. We're wrapping up our muscle building deep dive with Healthy Temple. Now, we've talked a lot about protein,
We have.
but are there any other foods or nutrients that Healthy Temple calls out
Okay.
as like muscle building superstars?
Yeah, they don't go into a ton of detail beyond protein, but they do emphasize a holistic approach to nutrition.
Right.
But, based on what we know about muscle building, we can definitely fill in some gaps there.
Okay.
So, for example, creatine.
Okay.
Creatine's a naturally occurring compound that helps replenish ATP.
What's ATP?
That's the primary energy source for your muscles.
Oh.
So it basically helps you power through those tough workouts.
Okay, so creatine can give us a boost.
Yeah, like an extra boost of energy.
Okay.
And studies have shown that supplementing with creatine can lead to greater strength gains,
Really?
increased power,
Wow.
and even increased muscle mass.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm going to have to look into that.
Yeah.
What about carbohydrates?
Carbs. Carbs are essential. They're our primary source of energy.
Right.
They provide the fuel you need to actually power through those workouts
Okay.
and replenish glycogen stores in your muscles.
Okay.
And when your glycogen levels are depleted, you're going to feel fatigued. Your performance is going to suffer.
So it's not about like cutting carbs completely,
No.
like some of these diets suggest.
It's about choosing the right kind of carbs.
Okay.
So you want complex carbs.
Okay, those are like the whole grains.
Yeah, like your whole grains, fruits, vegetables.
Okay.
Those will give you sustained energy and help support muscle recovery.
Got it. Okay, what about healthy fats?
Healthy fats are super important too.
Okay.
They're essential for hormone production,
Uh-huh.
including testosterone, which is crucial for muscle growth.
Okay. Yeah.
And they also help with nutrient absorption and just keeping your cells functioning properly.
So it sounds like we need a balance.
Balance is key.
Protein, healthy carbs, healthy fats.
Exactly. And remember, everybody's different. So it's about experimenting and finding what works best for you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Listen to your body, adjust accordingly.
One thing that Healthy Temple kind of hints at
Okay.
is the importance of finding joy in this process.
Absolutely.
I think it's easy to get so caught up in the end goal.
Right.
We want to see those muscles grow
Yeah.
that we forget to actually enjoy the journey.
Right. And it shouldn't feel like a chore or a punishment. It should be something that you look forward to.
So how can we cultivate that?
Start by choosing activities that you genuinely enjoy.
Right. Okay.
If you hate running, don't run.
Yeah.
Find something else.
If you hate burpees, don't do burpees.
Yeah, actually, there's so many other ways to move your body.
Yeah.
Find something that you're actually excited about.
Yeah, I love that.
And focus on the positive aspects.
Okay.
The feeling of getting stronger, that endorphin rush after a great workout,
Right.
the sense of accomplishment when you reach a new goal.
So it's really about celebrating those victories.
Absolutely, big or small.
I love it.
And remember, progress takes time.
It does.
Be patient, be consistent, and most importantly, enjoy the ride.
Awesome. Well, this has been such an eye-opening deep dive. I feel like we've learned so much from Healthy Temple about The science, the holistic approach, the mindset, all of it.
It's been a great conversation.
It really has. And, I think the main takeaway here is that building muscle is about so much more than just, lifting weights.
Right.
It's about building resilience,
Yes.
discipline, and a positive relationship with our bodies.
I love that.
It's about becoming the best version of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Inside and out.
Beautifully said.
Now, before we go, do you have any final words of wisdom for us?
I do. Think about this.
Mm-hmm.
Think about your fitness journey as a metaphor for life.
Okay.
What lessons have you learned from pursuing muscle growth that you can apply to other areas of your life?
Wow, that's a good one.
It's about pushing past your perceived limitations, setting goals, and working consistently to achieve them, and celebrating your progress along the way.
What a great question to end on. That's really going to make me think.
I hope so.
Well, on that note, I think we're going to wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive. A huge thank you to Healthy Temple for all their awesome advice. And to you, our listeners, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep striving to be the strongest, healthiest version of yourselves.
And we'll see you next time.